ladies and gentlemen, it's ASMR Cubed here, and today we'll be talking about Fallout. But I first want to make a quick reference back to the original Fallout video that I had made. I didn't have all the facts correct. I understand that Bethesda took over Interplay Studios later, but I just had forgotten to mention, and I apologize. And I blame that partly on GameSpot, but partly on me not doing enough research. However, I have done enough research this time, and I found out some really interesting things about Fallout that maybe you didn't even know. I didn't know, certainly. Originally, Fallout was produced from a video game that was also made by Interplay and published by Electronic Arts in 1988, called Wasteland. It was also a science fiction open world role-playing video game set in a futuristic post-apocalyptic America destroyed by nuclear holocaust. Now, when they made this game, it was originally on the Apple II and eventually ported to the Commodore 64, and then it was released for MS-DOS. Today, you can actually find the same video game on Microsoft Windows OS and X. So basically, Windows 10 you can get it for now. And it was recently released for Linux, but the re-release happened in 2013 on Steam and GOGGalaxy.com. And now on to Fallout 1. Fallout is set in a timeline that is deviated between the end of the World War and the start of the Apollo program, where technology, politics, and culture followed a different course. While technology and culture and social progression stagnated, giving the general world a ray gun gothic appearance with advanced technology. In the mid-21st century, a worldwide conflict is brought on by a global petroleum shortage. Several nations enter resource wars over the last non-renewable commodities, namely oil and uranium. From 2052 to 2077, China invades Alaska in winter of 2066, causing the United States to go to war with China and using Canadian resources to supply their war efforts despite Canada's complaints. Eventually, the United States violently annexed Canada in February of 2076 and reclaimed Alaska nearly a year later. After years of conflict, on October 23rd, 2077, a global nuclear war occurs. It is not known who strikes first, but in less than 2 hours, most major cities are destroyed, and the effects of war do not fade for the next 100 years. And as a consequence, human society collapses, leaving only survivor settlements, barely able to eke out a living in a barren wasteland. While a few live throughout the occurrences in the underground fallout shelters known as vaults. One of these vaults is Vault 13 and is home to the protagonist in Southern California, where the game begins in 2161, 84 years after the war. In Vault 13, the water chip, a computer chip responsible for the recycling and pumping machinery for the water supply of the vault, malfunctions. With 150 days before the vault's water reserve runs dry, the vault overseer takes the protagonist, the vault dweller, or tasks the protagonist, the vault dweller, with finding a replacement. They are given a portable wristwatch-like computer called a Pip-Boy 2000 that keeps track of map making and objectives and bookkeeping. Armed with the Pip-Boy 2000 and meager equipment, the Vault Dweller is sent off on a quest. The Vault Dweller has free reign across the Fallout world to travel where they wish and do what they like, but later games in the series clarify that the Vault Dweller canonically did. The Vault Dweller travels to Vault 15, the closest known vault that may be able to provide help, but it finds it collapsed into the ruins. The survivor survivors of Vault 15 founded a town named Shady Sands. By the way, if you don't know, Shady Sands is actually where the new California Republic starts. I had to play the game to find that out. And the Vault Dweller is given the option to defend them from the Khans, a group of raiders that attack the town. This would be the Great Khans referenced in Fallout New Vegas. A group of raiders attack the town, and rat scorpions, mutated scorpions that plague the town's herds of Brahmin. The Vault Dweller travels to the south, to Junktown, where they can help a man named Killian Darkwater and bring an end to a corrupt casino head, Gizmo, to justice, or help Gizmo assassinate Killian to take over the town. Farther south, the Vault Dweller finds the Hub, a bustling merchant city, where the Vault Dweller has the option to hire from 3 different caravan companies: the Crimson Caravan, the Water Merchants, and I forget what the other one is, and it doesn't look like it says here. Let's see. The Vault Dweller has an option to hire the caravans to aid Vault 13 and extend their estimated survival by 100 days. With clues from the Hub, the Vault Dweller travels to Necropolis, a city filled with mutated ghouls who are under occupation by a large mutant force. Dubbed super mutants, under the city, the Vault Dweller finds Vault 12 and recovers a water chip. Upon returning the water chip to the vault, is saved, but the Overseer is concerned about the super mutant population exploding, believing the mutations are too widespread and to be extreme, and that they pose a threat to the vault. The Overseer charges the Vault Dweller to find the source of the mutations and stop them. The Vault Dweller joins the Brotherhood of Steel remnants of a top-secret genetic research program involving the U.S. Army that survived the war, and continues. What plays here? Oops, I'm sorry, guys. And continues to research advanced technology. The Brotherhood supplies the Vault Dweller with equipment and information on the super mutants, which so happened to be directly related to the genetic research that was conducted before the war. A mutagen called the Forced Evolutionary Virus, or FEV for short, which can be used to mutate humans into super mutants, but leaves all such mutants sterile as a side effect. The Vault Dweller travels to the Boneyard and the ruins of Los Angeles. The Vault Dweller travels to the Boneyard, the ruins of Los Angeles, and finds out that a cult, like the Children of the Cathedral, operating around the wasteland, and are a front created by the Super Mutant Master, who's using the children to preach his message to wastelanders to get them to submit to him peacefully. Also should be known that the Children of the Cathedral later become the followers of the Apocalypse. If you've played a lot of Fallout games, you know exactly who they are, and I was actually shocked to know that. Anyway, the Vault Dweller explores the Cathedral of the Children and finds a prototype vault beneath it, from which the Master commands his super mutant army disguised as one of the children. The Vault Dweller infiltrates the vault and destroys the Master. The Vault Dweller travels north to the military base where the super mutant army was using the Forced Evolutionary Virus to mutate humans into super mutants, bolstering their numbers. The Vault Dweller destroys the base, stopping the creation of more super mutants and splintering their army. The Vault Dweller then returns to the vault and is greeted at the entrance by the Overseer. The Overseer is happy that the vault safety is secured, but feels the Vault Dweller's adventures have changed him, and that hero worship of him in the vault may encourage others to leave for the greater good of the vault. And to preserve its isolation, the Vault Dweller is exiled into the wasteland. If the Vault Dweller does not return to the vault with the water chip before the water reserves run out, the player loses the game. In earlier versions of the game, the Vault Dweller did not destroy the military base and the Master before before 500 days passed, the mutants found Vault 13 and invaded, resulting in an automatic loss. This time limit is shortened to 400 days if the Vault Dweller hires the water caravans from the hub. As the caravans travel to the vault, allow the super mutants to scout to find them more easily. In the 1.1 patch, the subsequent re-release of the game extended this time limit to 13 years, effectively giving the player enough time to do as they wish. There's also an option, alternate ending triggered if the character Vault Dweller has a negative reputation, or the Bloody Mess trait, where after the Overseer exiles him, the player shoots and kills him. At various points of the game, the Vault Dweller also has the choice to join the Super Mutants, which results in a small video playing of the Super Mutants rampaging through the vault at the end of the game. That's the whole of Fallout 1 that we have thus far. A couple of side notes that these endings are all still unlockable in the game. But note the creator of the Fallout franchise was Interplay, and actually I'm very sad to see that Interplay went under because they wrote a really good story. And I feel like they could have made a huge run of this game had they had the chance. In early 1994, Interplay Entertainment announced that they had acquired the license to create the video game using the GURPS roleplay system. When Fallout was recreated by Interplay as a spiritual successor to the 1988 post-apocalyptic role-playing game Wasteland. Although it was initially developed as an official sequel, Interplay did not have the rights to Wasteland at that point. The budget for the game was approximately $3 million US. In the early stages of planning, other settings based on GURPS role-playing game handbook were considered, including a time travel theme with aliens and dinosaurs. According to the producer Tim Kame, they actually worked with a game designer who wrote the GURPS time travel manual and worked out a complete time travel adventure, but it was just too much work for them to get done in a reasonable amount of time. The game's working titles included GURPS, Wasteland,